Hello and welcome back to science. Today we're going to be talking about macromolecules, specifically carbohydrates. There are four types of macromolecules. Those four macromolecules are the carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. These four molecules are large, hence the name macromolecules. Macro means big, micro means small. So these are macromolecules, these are large molecules. Carbohydrates are the first ones we're talking about. So when you're looking at carbohydrates, we're going to see our main purpose here. So we're going to discuss the function of carbohydrates. In the closing task, what I expect you to be able to do is you will be able to list three roles that carbohydrates play in life. So let's go ahead and look at carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are going to be made up of three chemicals. Make sure that you can list those three chemicals: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And it's in a 1 to 2 to 1 ratio. An example of a carbohydrate is glucose. The process, if you remember, in cells, we have organelles. And one of those organelles is the mitochondria. The mitochondria will go through a process called cellular respiration. If there's oxygen present, that's going to break down glucose. So its main role is to break down glucose to make ATP. So ATP is the energy that we run life on. And so one of the major roles, the main purpose of carbohydrates is for supplying energy. And so they're the main energy source for life. So carbohydrates, they're going to be in so many delicious foods. So they're the main source of energy. That is their main function. And they're going to be a structural component of plant cell walls. So take a look at this structure. You can see these plant cells, this outer ridge that's really firm is going to be the plant cell wall. And so you can see plant cell walls are going to be made up of carbohydrates. So now we've listed two major functions of carbohydrates, both main energy source as well as they're going to be in the cell walls of plants. So if we look at carbohydrates, we're going to have a single carbohydrate that's going to be called a monosaccharide. That's a category. Now, a monomer is going to be a single unit. A polymer is going to be many of those units put together. So here we have glucose, a single unit, fructose, a single unit, galactose, a single unit. They can be bonded together and paired together to make longer chains that we'll look at in a minute. So you can see this different kind of arrangement. Notice that the long carbon chain, having four outer valence electrons, really have utilized the characteristic of long hydrocarbon chains that sometimes occur in these. So with polysaccharides are going to be, take the base poly, meaning many, and saccharide, meaning sugar. So this is many sugars put together. So we have cellulose, that's plant cell wall. And we can't break that down. And so if we eat plant cell wall, it just pretty much is not digested. However, in roots and tubers, their plants sometimes store these structures called starches. And so a starch is going to look more like this, and that's going to be a long chain of these glucose molecules put together, and they're going to be energy storage for plants. We utilize this and eat things like potatoes as an example of just another thing that we eat. So let's just go through these. So carbohydrates are a main source of energy. They can be used in structure like plant cell walls, as well as energy storage like you see in plants. All right, guys, so this covers the carbohydrate section. Let's get to another section.